Once beat the man in the DJ contest.
Just like gone on YouTube, figure your brain some new food. Because we channel that if you watch, if you subscribe, we're gonna like that.
Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time on the channel, I'm asking that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. So, today I'm going to be talking about a total different topic. You know, usually I'm talking about dramas that's going on in Jamaica, whether it be political or whether it be towards the people, or sometimes I get into the legal history of Jamaica. However, today I'm going to be discussing a more light-hearted, a more fun type topic. I'm going to be talking about me. I'm going to be actually unclothing myself, so to speak. I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about me that you probably never thought of or never see coming. But before I get into that, I have to tell you what sparked this topic. As usual, I always say to my subscribers and viewers, why am I talking about this subject? For all of you that don't know, I also partake in another YouTube channel with my wife. I want you guys to go there and check it out. That YouTube channel is called Ian and Tina. Just type in Ian and Tina and you guys will, boom, see me in a social setting. Or I believe it's displayed somewhere on my channel as a featured channel. Click into that, check me out on Ian and Tina and see how me and my wife do our thing. So, 2019 came and my wife and I decided that we need to freshen up our YouTube channel in order to get some more subscribers. We need to brand ourselves. And one of the first things I suggested to her was we need a trailer song. We need something that tells people about us or what the channel is about. First, we were going for dancehall or hip hop, any one of those genres. So we went on Instagram and we reached out to a few potential artists or up-and-coming artists, because we didn't want to pay a whole lot of money to get this little song done, because we didn't need no more than 30 seconds or a minute. And after struggling to find a satisfying artist, I says to my wife, you know what, let me do it myself. You know, let me put something together. So the Stylo G touchdown rhythm attracted me, you know, and I tried reaching out to Stylo G himself, asking if I could actually use the beat. No one got back in touch with me. So what I done is had a friend of mine created a beat similar to Stylo G's beat and did my thing. So I'm gonna let you guys hear me doing my thing before I even get into today's discussion. So watch this.
Just like gone on YouTube, figure your brain some new food. Because we channel that if you watch, if you subscribe, we're gonna like that. We are Ian and Tina. You see the flag from Jamaica. We have video from Dongayard, Europe, Switzerland, all in Asia. I just me and the wife for life. A long time we are keep it tight. But now we show it on the flag them. I be in love when I have the problem. Me I tell you the vibe sweet. Higher level to the ice peak. Sometimes we laugh till we belly weak. I want to run, we are skin teeth. I just so we do it.
For a lot of you who are my subscribers, I know that probably surprised you that I had that ability. Yeah. It go way back. I'm gonna also let you listen to a clip, the clip that actually triggered the whole this whole topic. I went way back to where my writing was first applied. For all y'all don't know, my writing was first applied in Jamaica.
Yeah, when he was a little toddler.
Yeah, first my writing was applied to poetry.
Yeah.
Poetry was my first love. And then my second application was to Jamaican dancehall music. But I migrated to the States, and after that, kind of like absconded from dancehall and just dedicated my whole life to books.
So all of you who do not know, he was almost famous.
I was gonna be one of Jamaica's child dancehall artists. I've shared stage with people such as Being a Man. I've recorded in studios such as Jammies. Yeah. So that was me and my wife discussing the beat, the song, and pretty much how we done it. And thanks to a friend of mine who lives in California, DJ Mackie Hype, who I sent the audio to, and he tried to clean it up as much for me to make it sound listen worthy. So yeah, before all my book writing and all that in Kingston, Jamaica, I was what you call a child DJ. And I'm gonna get into some surprising topics because a lot of people on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social network have been shooting some questions to me because I made a statement once that I once beat a man in a DJ contest. And people was like, what? You know, but here's the thing. I actually won the DJ contest. The reason why I said I once beat a man in a DJ contest is of all the contestants, Being a Man is the only one that actually amounted to something that people know his name. So I use his name. But actually, in that DJ contest, there was me, Being a Man, Risto Benji, and there was a kid from Duane Park or Patrick City that called himself Deanie Ranks. Later on, I seen Deanie Ranks who said he changed his name to Duckman. So, yo, Duckman, if you're out there, big up yourself. So this is how it usually worked back then. At the time, I lived in a community named Marvelly. If any of you guys know Marvelly or from Marvelly, big up yourself. I was from Bottom Marvelly, and I represent Bottom Marvelly as a child DJ. Drewsland, which was across the street, Drewsland didn't really have a DJ other than General Trees at the time. So Being a Man and Risto Benji, they kind of rep Drewsland and Waterhouse. So Waterhouse and Drewsland people claim Being a Man and Risto Benji. Patrick City and Duane Park was being repped by Duckman, who at the time was called Deanie Ranks. Love Vibration and Exodus used to have little DJ contests on the weekends, you know, those little things to keep the youths occupied or excited or entertained, you know what I mean? So Love Vibration and Exodus used to have this setup right across Pembroke Hall Secondary School back then. Back then it was Pembroke Hall Secondary School. There was like a shopping center, and every weekend Love Vibration, Exodus, they would set up and they would, like, you know, invite anyone to grab the mic. And they put up a DJ contest on one Friday or Saturday night, and I entered. And it was an elimination type DJ contest. And like I said, I had a whole lot of people involved, and I walked away with the prize of 500 Jamaican dollars at the time and 2 crates of Heineken, even though I wasn't old enough to be legally drinking Heineken, but you don't know, that's how Jamaica works. And I walked away with the prize, eliminating names like Being a Man, Deanie Ranks, Risto Benji. Someone asked, what's my biggest achievement? What was my biggest achievement as I was in the music business in Jamaica? My biggest achievement by far was recording at Jammies Studio. See, back then, Jammies was like Motown in America. Jammies to Jamaica was Motown in America. So to be recorded in Jammies Studio was like a lifetime achievement, even though my record was never produced. At the time, first of all, when Jammies were initially Jammies, then Jammies started getting big, Jammies was called Prince Jammy. And then when Jammies got larger than life, Jammies came out as King Jammies, you know. And what Jammies used to do for the youths is every Thursday, Jammies used to offer audition. And I used to be there every Thursday trying to get into that studio. what happened was back then, foreigners used to come down for their sound system dub plates, and that used to delay us from getting into the studio because, you know, money talks, you know, and these people that was coming from foreign, they needed artists like Admiral Baby, Little Twitch, Pompidou, Angelo. They needed people like Johnny Osborne, and that would push us back. So sometime we'll be there the whole day and still didn't get into the studio. At that time, there were 2 engineers working for Jammy Studio. There used to be Bobby Digital and Squinjin. Squinjin was the second engineer that Jammys took on. The thing that was different between those 2 engineers, Bobby Digital only recorded people that was already known, that was already out there, that was already famous. Squinjin, on the other end, he would record potential artists, you know. And shout out to Squinjin, R.I.P. He's passed away. And Squinjin was the engineer at Jammy Studio who took me in the studio and recorded me one night, late nights, about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. I was probably the last person at the studio recording my single. And yeah, I walked from Waterhouse, St. Lucia Avenue back to where I was staying in Marvelly that night, really excited that I'm gonna have my single out. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because Squinjin, you know, met his demise and he died. And like I said, Bobby Digital wasn't trying to hear anybody who wasn't known. Then I migrated to the States, and then that was that. Back then, the other 2 studios were Black Scorpio Studio and King Tubby's. I once auditioned at King Tubby's as well, you know. Maybe I was nervous, maybe I was excited, or back then, you know, it was all about syndication. If you weren't from the local neighborhood, the engineers wasn't really trying to give you a second look. But I did audition once at King Tubby's Studios, and the guy was saying, I'm DJing too fast. For all you that doesn't know, DJ in Jamaica doesn't mean the same as DJ in America or in the UK or so on. DJ in Jamaica is our term of saying a rapper. So if you say I'm a DJ, that means you are a Jamaican dancehall rapper. So we only had DJ and singer. And what is known as a DJ disc jockey in America, in the UK, and Canada, in Jamaica, we just call it a selector. So if you hear me referring to the word DJ, it just means a dancehall rapper, a dancehall artist. And like I say, everything back then was syndicated, you know what I mean? So you either get discovery or get recorded based upon who you know or what neighborhood you came from. In Drewsland, which wasn't so far away from me, Black Scorpio, I just know that Black Scorpio recorded a few artists, and at that time General Trees was the top artist. I was from a sound system. My syndication was a sound system in Bottom Marvelly called Universal that was run by Herbie the Dread. So Herbie the Dread, big up yourself, you know. And on Universal wasn't a big sound, it was an up-and-coming sound, but at the same time, people like General Trees would pass through sometime and grace the mic, you know. But then the syndication for Universal, you know, was people like Panhead, R.I.P. Panhead, who passed away at the prime of his career. There were people like Mark Wonder, there were people like Wayne Jr., and there were people such as myself. There are people like Punnyman, who is now Heinemann, who resides in Germany. Big up yourself, Heinemann. There were syndicates, known syndicate. There were syndicates like Stereo One. Back then, Stereo One had the likes of Lieutenant Stitchie Papason. There were also Sturgaff that had people like Super Cat, Nicodemus, Junidemus, you know. Artists that I admired back then. Some of them are world renowned, and some of them, in my opinion, didn't get their dues that was actually deserving to them. There were people like Johnny P, you know, that Johnny P is well known in Jamaica, but like I say, in my opinion, didn't get the recognition that he truly deserved. There were people like Buru Banton. Buru Banton is world renowned and well deserving, you know. So I do know a lot about the Jamaican dancehall scene because, like I say, I invested a whole lot of my youthful years in dancehall music, jumping from studio to studio before I migrated. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys hear me ride the rhythm one more time before I sign off, and ask that, you know, if you want to see me in a social setting, you know, how I get on with my wife and my day-to-day vibes at home, without a doubt, I'm asking you to click the subscribe button. It will make me happy. It will make my wife even happier.
Just like gone on YouTube, figure you bring some new food. Because we channel that if you watch, if you subscribe, we're gonna like that. We are here in Antina. You see the flag from Jamaica. We have video from Dongayard, Europe, Switzerland, all in Asia. I just me and the wife for life. A long time we are keep it tight. But no show it on the flag them. I be in love when I have no problem. Me I telling them a vibe sweet. Higher level to the ice peak. Sometimes we laugh till we belly weak. I want to run, we are skin teeth. I just so we do it.
But one more note I wanted to cover, you know, giving credit to Jamaica on a whole and Jamaica Ghetto as a whole, you know, because as a Kingstonian, I lived in many parts of Kingston, you know. I've got an autobiography, Survived, you know. You guys get the time, buy a copy, read it, get to know a little bit more about me, or wait for the movie, wait for the biopic. In saying that, I just want to say, I moved from the Mountain View area to the Marvelly area. But even though I was always in love with words, I was a poet, I was writing my little poetry, reading it to my mom and my brothers and so on and so forth. Living in ghettos on a whole educates you, you know, whether you want to say it educates you positively or negatively. When I lived in the Mountain View area, I probably knew everything a person should know about guns. I probably could tell you the type of gun just by hearing the gunshot. You know, that's what that neighborhood did to you. And some people may see that as a positive thing, some people may see it as a negative thing. When I got to Marvelly, when I moved to Marvelly, I knew more about racehorse betting because other than school, you know, to pass time, it was either betting and horses, and you hear what to look out for and what to pay attention to when betting on a horse. You understand what was a win, what was a place, what was a quinella, and sometimes we even went as far as going to Cayman Spa just to see the horses, just to meet with the trainers, just to meet with the jockeys. And next thing I learned by living in Marvelly is everything there should be known about sound system and music and so on and so forth. So I don't know about now, but back then, Mountain View area was a violent place compared to Marvelly. By the time I moved from Mountain View to Marvelly, it was a very tame, Marvelly was considered a very tame ghetto. You know, people fuss, people fight, but nothing compared to the Mountain View area. The reason why I brought that up is just to say that every neighborhood offers something, you know. I mean, our ambition is to move to suburbia, which I've moved to suburbia. And what I notice about living in suburbia is people tend to live among themselves. So you probably live next door to someone that you probably only see them once a year or twice a year at most. But suburbia have very little to offer you educational wise, you know, unless you're watching the news or social media and so on and so forth. Anyway, before closing, I want to say big ups to Be the Man himself, you know what I mean? Let's hope that he remembers me or remember that particular incident in Pembroke Hall. Shouldn't be hard for being a man to remember. He actually attended Pembroke Hall Secondary with Risto Benji. So, big ups to being a man, the king himself. Outside of that, admire his achievement, love being a man as a dancehall artist, and continue to wish him nothing more than success. Until next time, people, let me know what y'all think about this revelation. Peace.